Hey everyone, it's David here. So I've been getting flooded out with questions and comments where you talk about this in state funds or mortgage or tax overages as well, because I do all three of those and I work with all three of those. So absolutely. One of the questions is about getting started and how to get started. And you've seen some of our videos, you've seen a lot of our testimonials and checks and what we have. But I want to look at one of our clients in particular whose name is Alen. And Alen started the program when he first came in. He said he wanted to quit driving for Uber. And he came in and he would post a ton of questions up on the Facebook group. So in this, he came up with a check one day for $345. And a lot of you say, okay, that's not much. Absolutely not much. And you're absolutely right. Now I'm going to talk about how to do this. Like I'm going to get into this video and end it with a presentation of Alen actually talking and interviewing. There's a lot happening here. So if you could stay in this video until the end, I would really encourage it. It's going to be a little bit of a longer one, but it will be worth it. So Alen posts his second check. It's just over $1,000. I think it was $1,040 was his second check. Then something happened with Alen where he's posted more checks than I can go ahead and count. A couple things that I want to say. So this is 2022. 2023 hits and he's posting checks. He posts three checks that total over $11,000. He posts a different check for $3,263. He posts another check for $7,000. He posts two checks totaling $14,000. And if you look at this guy, he's been able to get as high as $26,000 in 1 month. So how do you do it? Well, in the previous videos, all in the last couple of weeks, I've been showing you states, I've been showing you lists, I've been showing you how to get into lists. So I encourage you to watch my video and I'll post a link down below, how to become a state funds locator if you haven't watched that video. And then many of my other videos I've gone over is how to get in certain states. And I've actually been dissecting states. Yesterday I did Pennsylvania, I've done Alaska, I've done California, I've done many other states in there. And I'll keep on picking the states, but I want to get into how to actually get in the business, how to get started. So my first tax overage check was for about $1,500, real small, because I've done them tens of thousands of now, but $1,500 and my highest is $122,000. But what I did is I called the lady and I made contact with her and I had no idea what I was doing, which is going to be a lot of case with you. A lot of people that I see want to always perfect the business. You got to get to the point where you pull the trigger. So I introduced myself. I said, I want to go ahead and help you claim these funds. She goes, I had no idea it went over. And I verified it at the court. There's 1,500 sitting there. So I just said, if you want to work with me, I need these documents notarized. And I noticed that a lot of times in the beginning, I wasn't getting the notarized documents back until I started seeing the notary. So I sent the notary down to her. She got them notarized. She got them right back to me. I filed, and a few days later, this was an older deal. I had $1,500 in the mail in my corporation's name with an assignment of interest. And you've seen some of my state funds checks. You've seen many of them. So Alen has done the same thing. So pull a list that you have and work small claims. When I say small claims, work for a few $100. You're almost working for free for your first to third claims. And you're going to have to do this for about 8 times to get comfortable doing it. Now, I'm not saying work for free for 8 times. Your first, second deal, work for a few $100, get someone paid, learn the process, tell yourself you can do it, and then start going for higher claims and lower claims. I would rather get 2 or 3 $1,000 commissions a week in state funds than one check a month for 4,000. Now the 4,000 checks, and I've gotten plenty of those, are better, but again, consistency does count. So what I try to do is I try to work some of the smaller deals and some of the larger ones as well. Okay, so just a couple key points. Find your list, find a really small deal on your list, work that deal, get the person paid. Make a mistake, maybe they don't get paid, maybe you make a mistake. I had a woman in the program, she was working mortgage overages in the state of Georgia, and she used our limited power of attorney, and Georgia had just changed their rules on limited power of attorney and they wouldn't give her any help. She went in the courts, she found people that had filed, she found a document, she called her client, she said, hey, by the way, they just changed this as January 1st, it was like January 30th or something. She goes, can I have you re-sign this? This is ridiculous. Client said, oh yeah, absolutely. Client was looking forward to working with her. She built that rapport, she built that connection, she got herself paid and got the client paid in the process. That kind of stuff's going to happen. I would rather see you blow it with a small deal than a large deal, because you guys have all heard my nightmare story. Did have a guy go through the program. He went after my tax overage leads. He went through the county that I showed how I got the checks. He found a $30,000 deal and he submitted in the forms incorrectly, which cost him a $9,500 commission, $9,500 for his first commission. I would rather see you lose $500, $700 than $9,500. And I talk about that story a lot because I've seen it. I had a woman come in the program and her first deal was $1 $1 million deal for a state fund. And unfortunately, Bank of America didn't have the account number correct. And even though they could prove that it was the claimants because of this account number, these funds are frozen in the state of California. They'll never get paid. And she did everything correctly. And I kept on telling her, work another deal. And she's like, no, I'm going to get $100,000. I'm going to make $100,000 for this year. Well, she was devastated when she didn't get paid. Get a small deal paid first. So my first advice to you, and I've said this 3 or 4 times, get someone paid small, then go ahead and work your list and work up. And then you're going to get to know the people at the county level. They're going to get to know you. You're going to get testimonials from clients, call them up, ask them for testimonials. In fact, something that a lot of my successful people have done is they've looked for state fund claims for themselves. I had a woman go through the course a while ago who found $14,000 in her name that she didn't know she had, and she claimed it. And she's like, wow, I just was able to give myself a nice little yearly bonus. And she didn't have to pay taxes on that. That was hers. That money was reported. So it was super cool. And again, check with your CPA on that one. See if you have any family members that need to be paid, a brother, sister. My sister had funds in a certain area, and I called her and I said, hey, I'll get these for you. And we went ahead and we got her paid. So she was pretty excited about that. It was a real small amount, but get family members paid. Don't get false testimonials, but get testimonials that you can get. And work the process, get them paid, then start working your way up the list. But it gets to the point where you're learning all this job training, you're watching all these videos, you have to start putting this into action. So number 1 is find your state, find your list, go back, look at some of my previous videos if you haven't done that. Number 2 is work small, make contact with the claimant. If you need script, go back and look at one of my earliest videos. Number 3 is get paid and get yourself a nice finder's fee in the process. Hey, I'm going to show some video tape of Alen in this as well. So go ahead and watch this. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. It's David here. I am with Alen, and I'm with future, actually I'll say entrepreneur now, Alex. And thank you for being here. What'd you think of this?
I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was pretty interesting, like knowing about this business and being in this business in the future.
How is it watching your old man like come in here and it's going from Uber into this business, private investigator and all that? How has it been watching him come into that?
Well,
Like the evolution of it.
yeah, it's been cool seeing that my dad has like gotten into a good moneymaker business and that stuff.
And Alen has posted, your dad has posted tens of thousands of dollars of checks on our website. Actually, I've used him a lot in my social media because he's been so cool with that. I've seen him. I know he talks a lot about you, and I know your dad's like super excited. My sons are a little younger than you are. They're like 7 and 8, so are going to be 7, going to be 8. So it's really cool to see you coming into this business. It's really cool to see you or watching your dad be an entrepreneur, because I know I want my kids to be future entrepreneurs. So it's awesome, and I know your old man's proud of you, and you're probably proud of him watching him do this. Yeah, it's probably good. What'd you think of this weekend?
I liked it a lot. I was glad. I was happy to contribute my part on the state funds on it. I am very likely to stick with state funds for a long time, but if I were going to go to surplus like mortgage or tax, this has been a really good course, a really good weekend, and the course is a very good weekend. A very good course.
Yeah, thank you for your input and everything, and thank you for that. Any advice you'd give to anyone just starting out in the business, like they're just starting and they're brand new in this? What advice would you give somebody?
Don't get discouraged at all. Keep going. Don't procrastinate. Pick up that phone and make the calls. That's one of the hardest things to do for a lot of people. And just keep at it and learn more and more about the business as you go, and you will succeed.
So consistency, I'm hearing consistency, I'm hearing picking up. And one of the things that I appreciate about Alen is when he first came in the program and you first went through this, you jumped on calls, you asked questions, you came up with ideas, and this guy has come up with a million ideas. I've seen his first couple checks get posted. I've seen his first few deals go through, and I've seen this guy, man, he's a trooper, he's a worker. And exactly what I saw in you, you didn't get discouraged, you continue to work it, you still do, you're still getting deals and checks, and you've posted like 3 checks for over 11,000, you've posted 2 checks for over 10, and I think another 2 for over 15, if I recall correctly. But you've posted quite a few in the group too.
Right. So those numbers sound about right. Yeah.
And I've posted them, like I've put them around, everything like that. Well, hey, appreciate you being at the event. Would you encourage people to come to an event like this in the future?
I would definitely encourage someone that if they can afford it. to definitely come to the event. If they can't afford to come here, if it costs less to do it virtually, do that. But in person is always better.
All right. Any final thoughts that you have, young man?
No.
All right.
Say I love my daddy. Loudly.
I love my daddy.
Oh,
You hear that?
all right.
He can't take it
All
back.
right.